It is so easy to cast judgment. My aim in this video is to create understanding. What's up, everyone? My name is Tyler, and today I am going to talk about a profoundly personal topic: living at home into adulthood. What do I mean by home? Living with parents, of course. Living under the roof of parents. I'm going to be talking specifically about how I am 26 years old and still live with my mom. Now, without question, there is a deep-seated expectation and plethora of stigmas held by society at large surrounding the issue of adulthood and independence. This expectation that all adults must be completely autonomous by a particular age, in my view, is completely unreasonable. Immediate independence simply is not a viable option for everybody. The various stigmas that are perpetuated are shattered when confronted by this thing called reality. In this video, I'm going to be open and honest in sharing my story because I believe that reality reigns supreme. Reality supersedes the artifice of societal expectations and stigmas, and I am hoping that I can dispel the various stigmas that are held and the avalanche of falsehoods that are adhered to about living with parents, living at home, not being independent into adulthood. I want to first make crystal clear that my personal failures and shortcomings are not a reflection of the parenting performance of my mother. My mom did a phenomenal job of raising me. She raised me through the helpless years of infancy, through the scarcely less dependent years of childhood, and continues to be an ally and strong voice in my corner as an adult. And I'm eternally grateful for that. When I was just a child, my mom would read to me religiously. And by the time I was in the second grade, I was reading at a college level. And this presents huge advantages, of course. It set me up for success later in life. I would earn the accolade of Advanced Placement Scholar with distinction, win a multitude of speech competitions, win first place in my state for a business finance competition, and go to compete internationally, and getting impeccable grades in high school and college, working hard at all the jobs that I held for the time that I held them. The list goes on and on. So it begs the question, why do I still live with my mom? The answer is not simple, but I will answer. The primary reasons that I still live at home are financial limitations and poor declining health. Both of these things, for myself as well as my mother, are in fact intertwined. You see, the truth of the matter is, I actually was living independently for a short while, for an ephemeral 2 years, when I was off in college. I was at my peak physically, mentally, financially, academically. In all these different ways, I was truly thriving. Tyler was at the top of his game. But everything would change. Life can be so volatile. I would end up getting diagnosed with bipolar disorder. And I didn't know this at first, but I was experiencing symptoms of severe mania and psychosis. I experienced a myriad of delusions and hallucinations that caused friction in my relationships, that caused me to lose my job, that caused me to lose my education. And the recovery process was a long one because I was in denial about the things that was going on. And in my other videos, I cover in more depth the specifics of my manic episode, what it felt like, the actual things that I did and said. And I'll put a link in the description below to my bipolar breakdown playlist if you're interested. But the important thing is to just remember the theme of destruction. I destroyed my life. I lost my source of income. I lost my future in the sense that I got expelled by my university. And so all of these different detrimental things were happening to Tyler. And it wasn't immediately clear what should be done because I was in a state of denial about what was happening. When you're manic, you don't have the insight to make rational decisions. You don't have that ability to engage in future planning. But thanks to my mother, I would be able to recover. I had nowhere else to go because I had no job. I lost my student housing, so I couldn't return to college. My student housing was actually a frat house, believe it or not. But that's another story. I returned home to live with my mom, and I've been in recovery for 2 years. I have been assiduously focused on my recovery. And as a result, I haven't had any delusions or hallucinations for over 2 years now as of the recording of this video. And it is my intention to keep that momentum going and to continue to build upon the success that I've experienced. Unfortunately, I'm not the only one in poor health. My mother has also experienced a wide array of health issues over the years. Her kidneys are at dangerously low levels, percentage-wise, and she will actually have to start dialysis soon. She was there for me when I was in my time of turmoil. During those tumultuous times for Tyler, my mom was there for me. And she helped me recover. And I see it as an obligation to now be there for her during her time of need. And I also love my mom. We get along extremely well. And I'm in no rush or hurry to change things, especially when she's not in the best of straits and I'm not in the best of straits. The other reason, of course, is financial limitations. And this comes with, being a direct cause and effect relationship. This is the product of my manic episode because I used to work full-time at a chamber of commerce and was making excellent money. That's no longer the case. My income is now temporary disability, which is about $400 a month. And that's what I live off of. That's what I've been living off of for multiple years now. And it's just not economically feasible for me to get my own place. And of course, I don't want to get my own place right now. So even if it was economically feasible, I would probably be looking at other places to live with my mom. So not necessarily look to get away from her. I don't always plan on living with my mom, though. At some future period, I plan on moving out of my own free will and accord when the time is right, when opportunity presents itself. I want to talk a little bit about what my future plans are. I've always had a passion for public speaking. When I was a little kid, I used to watch C-SPAN of all channels. Can you imagine watching C-SPAN? Even adults don't watch C-SPAN. That's how boring it is. But I would watch it specifically because I like studying the rhetoric and language used by politicians and other officials in government and private industry. And I would try to echo and copy their means of communication because I just found it so intriguing, this idea of communication of one to many. And incidentally, I would struggle much of my life with communication in a one-on-one format. But when it comes to one-to-many, I've always thrived. And as to what field I want to work in, I'm interested in business, I'm interested in law, I'm interested in any profession that would empower me to utilize my public speaking and to pursue that dream. One of my dreams is to become a Toastmaster International Champion. They host an international championship every year, this organization called Toastmasters. And that's one of my main goals, is to do that. So I have future plans. I'm not going to stay in the same position for eternity, but I will stay here as long as I need to. I will not allow the judgment of others to interfere with my goals and aspirations and dreams, and neither should you. We all face our own unique circumstances and situations. I never thought I would live with my mom again after I left for college. I thought that I would get my degree and get a high-paying job. But as I said earlier in this video, life is so volatile. It is unpredictable. It changes rapidly. And we all have very powerful minds. And I want you to understand that what happened to me can happen to anyone. So there's really no room for judgment. We don't have a clue as to what others are going through. Some people have it much worse than me. Some situations are extremely complex and opaque. So let us strive to be more accepting. Instead of adhering to stigmas, let us be understanding. Let us be open-minded. Let us be welcoming of others for their differences. And in doing so, we can create a better world for ourselves and for others. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. My name is Tyler Adolfo. I hope that you all have a wonderful day. Hit subscribe.